The topic of our discussion in this video will be ischioanal fossa. So ischioanal fossa is a diamond shaped fossa situated on either side of the rectum. This is the rectum and the ischioanal fossa are situated on either side of the rectum. Let's see the boundaries of ischioanal fossa. The ischioanal fossa is bounded posteriorly by the sacrotuberous ligament. So this ligament is extending from sacrum to the ischial tuberosity and is known as the sacrotuberous ligament. Medially, the ischioanal fossa is bounded by the levator ani muscle. Laterally, it is bounded by the obturator fascia covering the obturator internus muscle. So this right here is the obturator internus muscle with its fascia, and it is forming the lateral boundary of the ischioanal fossa. The apex of the ischioanal fossa is formed where the levator ani muscle and its fascia fuses with the obturator internus fascia, and its base is formed by the perianal skin, which has been removed to expose the structures underneath. Ischioanal fossa has two recesses, an anterior recess and a posterior recess. The anterior recess lies deep to the perineal membrane. This triangular sheet is the perineal membrane, and the anterior recess of the ischioanal fossa lies deep to the perineal membrane. It also has a posterior recess which lies deep to the sacrotuberous ligament. Now the ischioanal fossa of the two sides can communicate with each other deep to the anococcygeal ligament. This structure over here is the anococcygeal ligament. Since the ischioanal fossa of one side communicates with the ischioanal fossa of the other side deep to the anococcygeal ligament, so the abscess of one ischioanal fossa can spread to the other ischioanal fossa. In the video of the pelvis and perineum, we saw that the internal pudendal artery, the internal pudendal vein, and the pudendal nerve first pass through the greater sciatic foramen and then through the lesser sciatic foramen, and then they come to lie medial to the obturator internus, and they are enclosed in the fascia of the obturator internus. So the internal pudendal artery, the internal pudendal vein, and the pudendal nerve are enclosed in the fascia of the obturator internus, and this fascial canal is known as the pudendal canal or Alcock's canal, and the contents of the pudendal canal or the Alcock's canal are the pudendal artery in red, the internal pudendal vein in blue, and the pudendal nerve. Now this Alcock's canal is a content of the ischioanal fossa. The internal pudendal artery, the internal pudendal vein, and the pudendal nerve also give branches going to the rectum. So this is the inferior rectal nerve coming from the pudendal nerve. This is the inferior rectal vein coming from the pudendal vein, and this is the inferior rectal artery coming from the internal pudendal artery. So along with the Alcock's canal, the inferior rectal nerve, the inferior rectal vein, and the inferior rectal artery are also the contents of ischioanal fossa, with the ischioanal fat which is not shown in this model. So this ischioanal fossa is filled up with lot of fats which is loosely arranged. So the ischioanal fat is also a content of ischioanal fossa. Now since the ischioanal fat in the ischioanal fossa is arranged very loosely, any abscess in the ischioanal fossa can be allowed to expand by the loosely arranged fat. So there is no compression of nerves or other structures as such. So the ischioanal abscesses are not very painful.